it's Liz Yuille and it's time for Simple Stamping Saturday. So this is the day of the week where I take one project and I show you how to make the very simple version, and then I show you two stepped up versions. Then if you go over to my website, which is linked in the description bar below, you can see close-ups of all three projects, as well as a bit more information about how I made them. So it's been interesting this week because at the moment, unless you want to join my team, you can't buy items from the new annual catalogue. So that means I can't link to those items to encourage you to buy them. So I'm actually looking at retiring product, and the stamp set I've chosen at the moment when I'm recording this is currently £8. You heard it, £8. Now, I don't know, but I will have a quick check. I don't know if the matching punch is still available. I'll put that information on my website, but the stamp set, £8. So let's flip the camera down and have a look. It's the Sweet Ice Cream stamp set, and it's just £8. It's ridiculous. So this is the card that I have made. So it's just a little ice cream cone, vanilla ice cream, some sprinkles and a thank you, and then the cone itself is one of those waffle cones, so it's got the waffle grid on it. So really simple to make. And the envelope, I've just used one of the other sentiments with "You Melt My Heart." Now, if you are not in the UK, please check to see whether you can put words on the outside of your envelope that aren't the address. In the UK, basically, so long as you've got an address on the envelope, they kind of don't care what the envelope looks like. They do like the stamp in the top right hand corner, but they're not even that fussy. But if you don't put it in the top right hand corner, it's going to take longer, because anything with a stamp that isn't in the top right hand corner, they have to manually check. So just bear that in mind. But yeah, so if you're outside the UK, please, please, please do check, because obviously I can only talk about the UK. Right, I am using, although I do work across France, Germany, Austria and the Netherlands as well. So my ink colours are Crumb Cake, So Saffron and Melon Mambo. So hence I've got that kind of vanilla ice cream look with the So Saffron. I'm using a simple white note card with a matching envelope. They are 20 of each in a pack, so you can make 20 cards with your stamp set and your note cards. Add some ink pads and you're good to go, and you're not going to be spending much money. You'll need some blocks, or you can use a Stamparatus, which is actually cheaper than buying all of the blocks. So if you're looking for a good range of blocks, you may want to look at the Stamparatus as well, or instead. Now, I am going to be doing this in a kind of odd order. I'm going to start with the sentiment, and that is purely because I want the sentiment tucked over to the left, and I want therefore to make sure that this cone isn't in the way when I come to do the sentiment. So if you do the sentiment first, you know that you've got space for your cone. So here is the crease. You won't be able to see it, but I can. So I'm just going to pop this down. It's Melon Mambo, so it is going to stain your stamp. Photopolymer will stain with pink inks, and you'd be surprised what colours have got that pink red ink in. Night of Navy for one. So give it a really good stamp. I will need this again, but I'm going to close it for the moment to try and help reduce the amount of staining. If I can find it, I'm going to use my stamping scrub. I've already sprayed it with some stamping mist. The quicker you clean, the less staining you're going to get. Now, I have been making the other cards, so I haven't been that good at cleaning, So it is a little stained. If I pop it down, you'll see it's not bad, but it is a little stained. Now, if you use the chamois, which I love the chamois, don't get me wrong, it will get more stained because you've not got any cleaning product, but the Stampin' Mist is a cleaner as well. So just bear that in mind. So I will need Melon Mambo again, but not yet. So next I'm going to take Crumb Cake, which I'm going to use for my waffle cone. And I'm just going to ink up my cone bottom and pop it there, stamp it down. It won't be a solid image because it's almost like a distinctive stamp. And again, I'm just going to quickly clean that. And then I've got the waffle crisscross, and I'm going to use the same Crumb Cake. So we're going to go tone on tone. This is a solid image. I mean, it's not, it's a grid, but the lines are solid rather than this distinctive dotting, which is a bit like newspaper print picture. So it is solid in comparison to the waffle cone itself, or the cone. So it's a very much more solid colour. So let's just clean that one. Gosh, I'm good with my cleaning today. Don't need Crumb Cake anymore. Do need So Saffron, and I need a piece of scrap paper. And as I have just had a delivery of things, exciting things like white cardstock, I have a shipping label, so I'll use that as my scrap paper. So I'm inking up the ice cream ball with So Saffron and stamping off, and this will give you a nice vanilla yellow, and I'm going to dip it down very slightly to one side. Now the bit that is stamped over the cone will kind of disappear into the cone, but it's fine. It still looks like you've got an ice cream cone with vanilla ice cream on top. That's all I need the So Saffron for. So we can get rid of that, clean my stamp, and sprinkles. Again, I'm going to use Melon Mambo. I nearly used Magenta Madness, but I'm not sure that by the time this goes to print, as it were, let's come down a bit, whether it's still going to be available. So I haven't. So I've just used Melon Mambo instead. I will need that again, but let's just clean the stamp. And again, it's really not too badly stained because I've used cleaner. So the only other thing we need to stamp is the sentiment. Don't need the scrap paper. Is the sentiment on the outside of the envelope, and then I'll fold everything out and show you what I have made to go with this. Excuse me, tickle in my throat. So You Melt My Heart, bottom right hand corner, if it's allowed in your country. Otherwise you can put an image if it's allowed in your country. I know some countries have issues with the different size of envelopes and all sorts. Well, I don't know. So I think excuse me. I think I'm right in thinking that the US has issues with really small cards. So here's a question, and please answer by leaving a comment if you know the answer. If I, from the UK, were to send a card that is too small for the US post office, would it arrive at its destination because it's come from outside the US, or am I supposed to know what the rules are in the US? Or indeed for any other country, if there are rules on sizes and whether or not you can have a patterned envelope or any of those sorts of things. So I'm just going to fold my note card in half, but I would be seriously interested in knowing because I do send cards to people overseas. So there we are. There is our little thank you card. Let me bring it up so you can see a little closer. Sorry, there's a reflection in from one of my lights. In order to get good daylight light, I have three lights. One up there, one up there, and one over there. And quite often I close the blinds because the sun is too bright. Anyway, that's our simple, and it was pretty simple to put together. The stepped up versions aren't that much more complicated. However, I have used the punch, which matches the stamp set. I will, as I say, check to see if it's still in stock in Europe, and I will let you know on my website. This is my first stepped up version. This is Sahara Sand card, which I don't often use, and Sahara Sand Designer Series paper from the Neutrals 6x6 pack in the Soon to Retire catalogue. Then I've used just white card and Melon Mambo for the thank you, and again just done the same stamping, but this time I've used the punch. I have taken some of the vanilla baker's twine from the, what does it call itself, from the Essentials pack, and I've just unwound one of a length and popped that behind, and then I've put some iridescent dots, rhinestones around, and this obviously is popped up on dimensional, so this is flat, this is popped up, and then we've got rhinestones with this strip of paper down the middle. And I have deliberately offset it, and I know I say this often, if you're using a strip, unless you are going to measure it precisely, if you offset it, then it looks really intentional, whereas if you don't quite get it in the middle, it can look really bad. So the next version isn't that much difference, other than I have used some of the rainbow glimmer paper down the sides, trying to pick out Melon Mambo. I don't know that I've succeeded, but that was the intention. Then I've used gold embossing for the waffle cone, and for the sprinkles I've inked the stamp with Versamark first and then immediately into Melon Mambo, just in a corner. It's not going to hurt your Melon Mambo ink pad. Then stamped it, then sprinkled clear embossing powder over the top, and then you get the shimmer on that as well. And I've done the same for the thank you, so that's got glossy on it. You can see it easier, I think, on the thank you. And then again, rhinestones. But this time for this is gold, and I've taken it from, let me grab the ribbon, from the Just Jade and Gold ribbon, braided ribbon, and I've just taken a few bits of the gold out of the Just Jade. So that's what I did with that, but otherwise it's the same. I've just hidden it behind the ends behind the cone. So we've got our starting point, step it up a bit, and then step it, woo! And then step it up a bit more. I think I need to pin that down. I'll pop some multi-purpose liquid glue just to stick that in place, because that's gonna catch. So I'll stick that down. But some multi-purpose liquid glue will do that without any bother at all. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed that. As I say, £8. It's ridiculous, and it's got happy birthday, thank you, treat yourself, you melt my heart, you're so cool, with sprinkles on top, hope it's sweet. So, and you can do a lolly as well. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stamps that will do an ice lolly for you, what my parents used to call a drink on a stick. So do have a look at that. If it's only £8, it's a bargain. So thank you very much indeed. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Do leave any comments below. Do remember to give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe if you don't already. Bottom right hand corner, where are we? We're there. Bottom right hand corner is the subscribe button. Click the alert bell if you want to know when I've posted or gone live. I will be doing some lives, some random lives in the weeks leading up to and after the launch of the new catalogue, just to get people give people a little taste of what's coming. So, as I say, have a great weekend. Thank you very much indeed for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye bye. Oh, sorry, can't get the end screen.